Welcome to Always Around B-Movie Horror.
Hello and welcome back to alwaysaround.net. Today I've got a review for you of the Norwegian horror movie Thale, which I did a preview of way long time ago. Anyway, so this is a movie by a guy called Aleksander Nordaas, who kind of seemed to have done a great deal of the actual work around the movie as well as directing it. It's a relatively short movie. It's only like an hour and 17 minutes, which, you know, I actually think that's pretty good. There's just way too much stuff nowadays. It just goes on and on and on and on, so long. So, you know, an hour and 17 minutes, that's pretty powerful, pretty punchy, which particularly because it's a relatively small movie in a lot of senses. Straight up front though, gotta say, if you are looking for an out and out kind of horror movie that's going to scare the shit out of you, then really this probably isn't the movie for you. There are, you know, scary scenes in it, there's gore in it, but on the whole, and there's suspense, but on the whole, that's not really the focus of the film. Thale is more of a thoughtful kind of movie. It seems to ask questions like, you know, who really is the monster, and of whether or not it's okay to exploit one individual if it will benefit a lot of individuals, or as Star Trek put it, do the needs of the one outweigh the needs of the many, or do the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the one? Live long and prosper. Rest in peace, Leonard Nimoy. Anyway, where was I? Yes, right. And the other thing that it does, which kind of explodes the usual sort of tropes of horror, is a lot to do with the fact, I think, that it's a Norwegian film rather than an American film or even a British film. For a start, the two blokes in it, the two main blokes, Elvis, who's played by Erlend Nervold, and Leo, who's played by John Sigvaskard. And apologies to any Norwegians who are watching this and are, you know, suffering as I massacre the pronunciation of their language. These two main blokes in the film, as opposed to the protagonists of most horror films, are neither stupid nor are they assholes, which, you know, this is rare. This is rare in horror movies. They're basically decent guys, which is kind of good because you almost never see that in a film. And in a way, it works better, I think, because you kind of feel, you identify with these two guys more, and that makes the weird situation they're in seem a little bit more real. There we go. That's what I was trying to say. Fantastic. Let's spit it out there. Good. Meanwhile, playing against them, Silja Reynamo is brilliant as Thale. Without ever speaking a word in the entire film, she conveys not only the sense of someone or something very human-like in appearance, but at the same time truly alien. But she also terrifically conveys all the various emotions that are required to come across from the character of Thale. So what you end up with quite quickly after the initial sort of opening scenes of Elvis and Leo doing their crime scene cleanup, which, by the way, if puking freaks you out and you don't like it, you should probably skip the first 5 or 10 minutes of the movie. I'm just saying, I know there are some people out there who are just really like, I can't deal with puking. Elvis is the new guy of the crime scene cleanup, and it's not really much of a spoiler to give away that he can't take it. He just can't take it. Which kind of is his general character compared to Leo, who's much more unflappable. And I think that's best demonstrated in this little scene that I've recreated for you. So anyway, after the initial opening setup, as you saw, then Elvis and Leo find themselves stumbling around in basically this weird basement underneath the house of this guy that's died, who they have to come and, collect up from how he's scattered around the property. And it's in this weird basement that they find, as you see in the trailer, all the various weird gubbins and the sort of sinister tape recordings of the fella who was killed, and of course Thale herself. And again, I don't want to give away too much about those scenes, so I'm going to gloss over any details, but the initial sort of finding Thale, I think, is dealt with really well. The contrast between the two characters of Elvis and Leo just plays off terrifically and allows for sort of great build-ups of tension and then diffusing it. So that they work so well together. And as what is basically a three-headed film between those three characters, I think you get really into it, and it's kind of the opposite of a Kevin Smith film where everybody's just like blah 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 blah. Oh, I'm talking some more. I'm so clever with my talking. Gosh, listen to me talk. Here's some more talking. Wow, there's been 2 hours of this. Goddamn, we're still stood in a shop. As opposed to a Kevin Smith film, it's like the opposite because, well, if you're of Nordic origin, or like of any of the sort of regions that were later established from Nordic people, like if, for instance, you're from Yorkshire, which was a lot of Vikings basically set that up there. There's that kind of thing where people just don't say much, but at the same time, they say a lot with just a couple of words. If you kind of get them, if you understand them, so you have these conversations between Leo and Elvis where very little is said, but at the same time we learn massive amounts about them, and this is handled really well, I think, in terms of how it's paced, and the humor's so dry. I mean, it is Sahara Desert or Atacama Desert, even for the geographers out there, level of dry. That's how dry it is. So dry, which I love. If you enjoy a dry sense of humour, you'll really like it. If you're hoping for a whole load of slapstick, yeah, maybe not for you. And that really is kind of the middle part of the film where it's the interaction between these three. And again, as I say, unlike what you'd expect in American film or even a British film, where, if two guys found a naked woman in a basement, almost certainly one of them would do something stupid or horrible, right? Yeah, that's not what they do. And I don't think it's really spoiled to say that. That's not what Leo and Elvis do. They're not the most together guys in the world, but they do their best to basically be nice to her. Which, it's a bit of a breath of fresh air. But here's the thing. There's more going on in the film than just these three people. They're the nucleus of the film, but around them there are things out in the woods. And we don't really know what's going on with them or what their attitude is. And at the same time, there are agents, people, from the past who are connected with the dead guy in the house that are to do with Thale. And what it adds up to is that there are these other forces that are threatening. And bam, that's what hits in the last part of the movie. And I don't want to give away what happens in that there, because I want you to be able to enjoy it and watch it. So I'm just going to leave it at that. But I think it was, you know, if you struggle to sit through, you know, conversational stuff, I still think it was worth it for the payoff. Personally, I thought the conversational stuff was great, and I didn't really get any sense of time dragging in the movie. You might find the epilogue a little bit hokey. I mean, I did see it coming from a mile off, but again, I think it was handled with really good grace. So overall, not like a big sort of harem scarum kind of movie, but a thoughtful movie. I think it's really worth your time, and I think you'll enjoy it. So there you go, that's it from Always Around for today. There's a link for you to watch the trailer for Thale, and please like and subscribe and share. Share, because it's good to share. Cheers now, see you later.